Yeah, since I'm stopping by Hub Central and since I have a hard drive finished, might as well check on it. Would want to make heavy oil residue, I have no idea. An infused uranium cell doesn't seem like a bad thought, but well, I'd have to bring in silica instead of concrete, and I got more concrete than I have silica. Maybe I gotta make one of check on one of these. Yeah. Maybe a flexible frame. I mean, I suppose it's good to have an alternative just for the sake of having an alternative at this juncture. Okay, next hard drive. There we go. Alright. Let me just deposit my my alien DNA samples, and then I'll go back to the uranium, well, the particle accelerator. Alright. So, let me see if, I keep forgetting how radioactive this area is. So this thing's on. I'm going to turn it off for now. And then, let me see, where are the inputs to this thing? How did I set this up? The inputs are here, so, the copper powder will go in this industrial storage container. And the pressure conversion cubes will go in this one. You can tell I had this in mind. And, oh, there's the output. I never put a box for it down, so, there we go. A little close. There. That's better. This thing only have... So this thing I think is going to take like 200 minutes. Because it takes 2 minutes to make one of these. 200 minutes. And this nuclear plant only has enough fuel for... I forget. There's... Let's see, it goes through... It takes 5 minutes. Okay, 25 minutes out of 200. What's my power grid like? Okay, so I've got 2,000 megawatts. I shouldn't really... I don't think I should need the nuclear plant to run this power accelerator. Granted, it's going to be high, and also I shouldn't run anything else. But I think I should be able to afford it. Let me see if this building does anything. Wait a minute. You know what else? I gotta check on 100 a minute. Okay. This thing should go into action in... I forget exactly how many objects this thing takes per minute. Do I have any... No, I don't have any bags of copper powder. I'm wondering if any of them got lost when I switched over the conveyor belts. Hopefully they didn't. Ah, here we go. I better steer clear away from this thing. Okay, so I take it then that I have my first nuclear... No, apparently not. However, this thing should run at maximum... what do you call it? It should run at maximum output, I guess, because it takes more time to... This is making my hair stand on it. Hang on. This is making more. This is taking more time to make a nuclear macaroni than it is to load the ingredients for the nuclear macaroni. So. Through this. Okay, almost done. Power. Okay, yeah, so we are like near capacity, but we're not... What is going on here? Did the maximum capacity somehow... maximum consumption somehow go up with the... Wait a second. I think I'm beginning to understand how this works. You see, the lower limit of the power is when it starts manufacturing the component, and then the upper limit is when it finishes. So, as soon as it gets started on the next component... Okay, there it is. Nuclear pasta. Anyway, as soon as it gets started on the next components... I'm gonna shout myself worse if I keep this up. Anyway, as soon as it gets started on the next component, it will it'll drop back down to the low end of its power consumption, and as soon as it finishes, at the end it'll go up to the high end. Okay, so 200 minutes, that's like 3 hours and 20 minutes. I figure out to leave this thing alone for that time. But I'm guessing that the magnetic field generators, those should be finished by now? Looks like they are, actually. I can tell because the assembler, its indicator is yellow as opposed to green. Green means it's running, yellow means it's stopped for some reason because it's out of something. But that, I think, is all of them. Seem to have overdone a little on the versatile frameworks, which is kind of weird. Oh, and the research is finished. How many of these turbo motors? Wait a second, let me double check if these are even turbo. Yeah, turbo motors. 126 of them. I should be a little over a third of the way through. Well, since the hard drive is finished, yeah, let me just see if there's anything good on here. Iron plates or iron plates made out of steel. I don't like either of them. Iron plates are simple enough as they are. Suppose I could make polymer resin out of... but polymer resin is a byproduct of my power consumption. I'll just pick this for the sake of having something. I can't say I like the idea, but... well, it's pretty much all I have at the time. So I'm gonna... that last little escapade ran me out of a lot. So I gotta make more of it. Gotta make more equipment at some point. But before I do that, I'm gonna start... I'm gonna load the... let me see. Can I do this directly? I think you can. It's been a while since I've loaded anything else onto the space elevator. Yeah, here we go. That's all the magnetic field generators. The other two parts, well, let me see, I should at least set up the machines to start making them. So the assembly director systems, they need supercomputers and adaptive control units. And you know what, I might as well just parallel it. Wait a second, I got a better question. Do I have enough power? I mean, can I afford this? I mean, that accelerator is going to be running for 200 minutes. I'm not exactly sure how much power I can spare at this point. So this peak usage, it's moving a bit too fast. This is, say, 3,600 out of 4,100. That's 500 and something. Now, how much power did this require? 60 megawatts. Okay, fine. I guess I can. I guess I can afford it. And this is a major concern now that I'm running that power particle accelerator. So, supercomputers. I got 250 of them. Better put these in, just so that I don't dump them all. There we are. These here, 200. Okay, it's like 396. So I might as well get started on the assembler director systems. I can't afford to overclock this thing, but I can't afford to use the Summers loop. I just hope this doesn't break the bank. Well, okay, fine, it shouldn't, because I've got like 400 or so to play around. 400 or so megawatts to play around with, and this only takes 60. I should be fine. Now at this point, I'd like to make some more quick cash by cashing in some fluctuators. I'm not exactly sure just how much power that factory uses. But I guess before I do that, I ought to at least sink the plastic and rubber that are filling their industrial storage containers over at Freighter Lake. Because if those get full, then that's gonna trip everything up. The power will crater, and well, actually no, it won't. There will be some wiggle room with the polymer resin that the plastic and rubber is being made out of, but all the same, I don't think it'll be that much of a buffer zone. It'll eventually you drop the power down, and that'll stop the whole particle accelerator thing. I have no idea what effect that has, and I'd rather not find out. Oh, whack me upside the head. It looks as though the turbo motors are about 80% of the way there. Not expecting that so soon, but it's a pleasant surprise. Speaking of surprises, how's this going? I know I just got started. Yeah, there's like 38 of them out of 500. It's not even a tenth of the way done. What about this? 104 more. Oh, sorry, I should have said 54 more. I guess the only way I can calculate how complete this is by determining just how much of everything is left. And it looks like it's a full stack all around, at least. I needed heavy modular frames were the least amount that I needed. So how many of those? Okay, yeah, I'm down to my last 2 stacks of them. Out of 250. Okay, so I'd say it's somewhere between 60 and 80% finished. Meanwhile, I've done a couple of a bit of restocking with the aluminum ingots and the copper. But I do have to watch my power consumption still. I've got some considerable amount of time before that nuclear tortellini is finished cooking, I guess you'd say. So there's one thing that I was wondering, and that is, well, I found a new biome in the northeast, but I don't think I've really explored the northwest. So maybe I ought to go there. I may not be looking for Mercer spheres any longer, but you know what I could use more Summers loops. Reason being, there's that big, what do you call it? That alien gizmo which gives you 500 megawatts plus 10% of whatever's in the total grid. If I build a second one of those, then it's an exponential thing, you know. It's 500. If you take the quantity of the amount of power P that you have in your grid and put one of those alien devices down, you'd have the quantity. You'd add the total amount of power it would add would be the quantity P plus 500, end of quantity, times 1.1. Now, what if I added another one in there? Well, there you'd have to apply the same formula a second time to a new amount of power. So it would be the quantity P plus 500 plus, times 1.1, plus another 500 on top of that, and then take that whole thing and multiply it by 1.1. So that would mean, 1.1p plus 550 plus 500. Okay, 1.1p plus 1050. Take all that and multiply it by 1.1. So you end up with 1.21p times, oh boy, 500 times 1.21, which is somewhere in the, I think it's like 600 and, I'm not really sure. But the point I'm trying to make here is that the second alien device, if I were to put one down, makes more power, puts in more power than the first. And if there were a hypothetical third one, then it would put in more power than the second. It's an exponential regression. I'm sure somebody's calculated this out already and put it all in algebraic format or something that's easy to digest. But the point I'm trying to make is, if I have another 10 Summers loops I can use, of which I'd say 3, maybe 5 if I were to take out that one assembler out of the equation, then I'd be able to make a second one of those alien things. And I suppose I could always use more power. But for the time being, I'm going to go northeast. I suppose I ought to go more north than east. I mean, this is how I did it before. Unexplored territory, completely unexplored. I think I'm already most of the way... Oh wait, sorry, that should be northwest, shouldn't it? I mean, I'm going north now, but get to somewhere I can stop and check up on the map. Okay, yeah, I'm pointing in the right direction now, but I wasn't earlier. It should be northwest. My mistake.